Synchronizing what you have on your iPad or iPhone and a computer is a pretty useful thing to do. It means you can have a backup of your mobile devices on the computer, and it means you can share the way you want to your music, images, movies, whatever, between your various devices. You can do it either with a cable connecting the device to the computer, or you can make the connection wirelessly. We'll have a look at what happens on the computer first. This is a computer view of iTunes. It looks very similar on a PC. This is looking at it on a Mac. There's music, movies, TV shows, and other resources in this giant storehouse of media. And the connection to the two devices that are connected to this computer, an iPhone and an iPad. The appearance of iTunes change a lot depending upon which menu you're looking at. Here's the music collection showing albums. If I click onto the playlist view, you get this sidebar with all the albums, and it's a very detailed overview of what's in your collection. And on the end here is a connection to iTunes Store, so that iTunes is your resources, but if you go into the store, of course, it's the gigantic collection of media, music, movies, TV shows, and so on. So now we'll have a look at John's iPad, and now this is the view of what exists within the iPad. You don't adjust these settings very often probably, but an important one is to decide whether you're going to back up the most important data onto iCloud or this computer. And so I have it set on this computer, so everything on the iPad is transferred to the computer. And if your iPad is lost or damaged or has to be restored to its original state, you can easily do that once you've got a backup established here. You simply press restore and come back in an hour or two, and it will be back where it was before. First time you connect with a cable, this button will be switched off, and it's a good idea, I think, to sync the iPad over Wi-Fi or iPhone, and that means that the synchronization will happen automatically whenever the computer detects the iPhone or iPad being in the vicinity. And so the synchronizing or syncing is something that just happens in the background. The various components of what's on the iPad, and this is where you manage what it is that's going to be synchronized or transferred across. The summary page shows a view of how the storage is used, and if you have a device that has limited space, or you have an awful lot of images or music, this is where you can get a picture of what's using the space. For apps, you probably will want, if you get a lot of apps, you'll probably want to choose which ones are transferred or kept on the device. Now, for example, I've got a very large app, the 1.8 gigabyte satellite navigation software. Now, I'm not in Western Europe, and I won't be for a little while, so I don't need that on my device, and I never transfer it to the iPad. I would only use it on the iPhone. So I can click here to install or remove a app, and so you can manage what's available on your device this way. In music, depending on the size of your device and how much music you've got, you choose here what you will have transferred to the iPad or iPhone. You can transfer the entire collection, but quite often you'll have more on your computer than you want to go across to the portable device, the mobile device. So I've got selected playlists here, and so the ones that have a tick next to them are the ones that will be transferred. And so you can manage quite precisely what goes onto your iPhone or iPad. Same applies to movies, TV shows, podcasts, and photographs is the important one for many people, because people often have a very large collection, and you want to manage how much will go across to the device or come back from it. So I've chosen iPhoto, which is the standard Apple photo management tool. If you have a PC, you'll see other options here for whatever software you're using. So you can choose the folder which stores your images, and you now go down and do the same process here. I've selected here to just transfer selected albums and not use the entire collection button here. And so once again, I've ticked on the folders or albums that will be transferred to the device. And that's all there is to it. If your wireless is working correctly, the transfers will take place automatically. You'll get a faster transfer if you plug the cable in. When you've got your settings where you want them to be, click sync and it will start to operate, and you'll see the process happening up here and get some indication of what stage you're up to. On your iPhone or iPad, remember that you won't see one comprehensive iTunes application that has all these resources within it. You'll see instead a number of different apps. There's music, photos, video, and the iTunes Store, and some others. On your iPad or iPhone, you should have a look at settings and see that you have iCloud set up. In this case, I have nearly all of the applications connected to iCloud that can be done, and this means that photos, mail, contacts, etc. are stored, as long as the capacity lasts, up on the cloud so that they are accessible from all of your devices, your computer, iPhone, iPad, whatever. And within a family you can have quite a big collection of computers connected to your one service on iCloud. So this provides a sharing facility which may look a little bit like synchronizing, but it isn't quite the same. The files are stored on the cloud, on the internet. The other area that you might want to look at when you're concerned with synchronizing is to go to Settings and General. There is Manage Storage. If you click on that, and in a few seconds you will get a display showing what's taking up the space on your portable device. And in this case, my photographs and camera is clearly the biggest collection, and this shows a breakdown of what that's made up of. So if I'm running short of space on my mobile device, I can take this as advice and go and delete some of the files that I don't think I need. And it's showing the biggest apps here, and some of the apps take up quite a lot of storage space. So if you are short of space, you can delete a really big app. And when you delete an app, you don't lose it. It is simply deleted from this device. And if you delete it from all of your devices, you still own it because you've purchased it through the Apple Store, and so you can go back and download it again without any cost. All of this enables your devices to all work very happily together. If you're interested in apps for children, you might like to have a look at my review site for educating apps, educatingapps.com.